Both of them have moved up. Nate Diaz, Rory Markham. Okay, now this is one I did predict, and again, right. Rory Markham came in at 177 pounds, did not make weight, and he was penalized for that, $1,000 and who knows what else. Nate Diaz made weight at 171 for making 170, and so so Nate Diaz went from 155 to fighting a guy who was overweight at 170, and so I think Rory Markham was defocused. He was talking about his trainer's fault. To get in a spat with your trainer, to have any kind of issues with your training camp before a fight, and then to walk in the cage and have to rely on their direction, it's just unbelievably unfortunate. So I believe Rory Markham was defocused. I don't believe he could have brought his best game in a state of defocus. Nate Diaz, oh my goodness, he looks good at 170. This guy has the strength of his brother. At least it looks like it, that he can strike. I love those right jab hooks. I don't know what it is, but it's beautiful. I'm really excited to see what Nate can do at 170. Ricardo Almeida. The big difference, in my opinion, at this in this fight was Ricardo Almeida came in heavier. Yes, he had a tough time in the weight cut, but he came in heavier into that cage, and he was not in any way intimidated. Matt Brown, great guy. Didn't have the muscle mass or the strength of Ricardo Almeida, and he just didn't have an answer for that kind of a muscle. So that was unfortunate. I like Matt Brown a lot, but at that weight class, Ricardo Almeida looks really, really good. Jared Hammond, Rodney Wallace. Saw the fight. I wasn't as impressed as everyone else. It seemed to get fight of the night, but I don't know. I'm glad Jared won. He survived the incredible onslaught of Rodney Wallace. It was a good fight, but I wouldn't have given it fight of the night. Anyways, good fight. Ruzimar, I hope I say that right, Palhares, with his submission leg lock. Ooh, didn't you think he should have stopped a little bit sooner? How many taps was that? Wow. And I think there's some major damage done to that knee. So that was unfortunate. But in the post-fight interview, the way he talked, very humbly, very respectfully, saying, I'm sorry, I hope I didn't hurt him. He seemed to manage it very well. The guy is just unbelievably good at what he does, and so no shock there as far as the win. It was unfortunate he didn't stop sooner. Matthew Riddle, I didn't see this fight, so I can't speak to it. He was my prediction, but he won by disqualification, so I can't take too much credit. That's kind of like the eye poke with James Irvin last week, where I was wrong and I didn't take blame for that. Well, I'm not going to take credit for this. Matthew Riddle, don't know how he looked, but he looked good in the pre-fight interviews and post-fight interviews, but I didn't see the fight. So there you go. That is my quick recap. But the major lessons here are focus and fear. Fear can help us focus, and if we're defocused due to inner battles with our training camp, if we miss weight, if we have battles with the media, if we're busy focusing on a different fighter, any lack of focus is going to be a real danger. And too much fear can keep us from taking the chances necessary to have the kind of fight that we want to have. So two major lessons here, focus and fear. And there you have it. So this is James McNeil, Mental MMA, your information source for the mental game of mixed martial arts. And I was thrilled at UFC 111, looking forward to Wednesday night and the launch of The Ultimate Fighter. Thanks. Talk soon.